May 31st and June 1st, 2010 was the 89th anniversary of the worst civil unrest in the history of America, not counting the Civil War. It was called the Tulsa Race Riot, and over 300 people were killed. Much has been written, and many stories have been told about what really happened. We must set the record straight. First thing that you must know if you really care is that it was not a race riot, but a race massacre. Stop calling it a riot like you were there. Innocent people, men, women, and children killed everywhere. It was a setup, a scheme, and a plan to destroy all of Little Africa or Greenwood land. Some say to lock up the destiny of Greenwood in other people's hands, saying to the world that he's not really a man. You better stop and ask Jackie Chan if it's alright to destroy someone else's land. It began on May 31st, 1921. What a scandalous front page story that was a lie. It implied that a black man attacked a white girl and had to die. The actual front page story of the Tulsa Tribune newspaper said, "Nabbed Negro for attacking girl in elevator." Those killing words were never taken back later. That's all that was needed to lock up Dick Rowland in the Tulsa jail. And that one arrest created major hell. He'll tell. That stopped life on Greenwood from going so well. The editor and owner of the Tulsa Tribune newspaper was Richard Lloyd Jones, and he knew the power of the pen. He turned a mob of 25,000 whites against Dick Rowland so that Dick would not have one friend. He even wrote an editorial entitled "To Lynch Negro Tonight." Many whites and blacks spoke loudly that that's not right. The name of the young lady who was used to create so much rage was a young white girl by the name of Sarah Page. She told authorities over and over again that Dick Rowland had simply slipped and stepped on her toe. But that was enough for Richard Lloyd Jones to say that Dick Rowland had to go. They came from the east, they came from the west, determined to give Dick Rowland a long rest. They surrounded the courthouse and demanded that the sheriff let Dick Rowland go. This was just the beginning of the fiery and bloody show. Several men from Greenwood or Little Africa went to the courthouse and offered Sheriff McCullough their support times two. They knew what the angry mob intended to do. They remembered that an angry white mob lynched a white teenager named Roy Belton in 1920. They knew that Dick Rowland did not stand a chance with the angry mob being so many. Then, bang, 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 someone fired a shot with their finger on the trigger. Then the mob shouted with one voice saying, "Kill all them niggas." All of this rage because Richard Lloyd Jones told lies about Sarah Page, releasing the inhumane mob from their cage, putting in the hand of a savage a 14 gauge, letting them loose on innocent people with all of that rage. The truth must be told so that this will never happen again. It's time for whites and blacks to be each other's friend. If we trace it back far enough, we will find that we're all kin. But it seemed that we were not kin on that day. The mob was determined that all blacks had to pay. They set fires to everything as they went their way. They were determined to burn and kill no matter what the innocent say. They went into Little Africa, burning and shooting everything that they saw, killing innocent men, women, and children, beating them to the draw, killing the parents of little babies, Ma and Pa. Some of the innocent dodging bullets all the way to Arkansas. 1,256 homes in Little Africa destroyed by fire for no reason. We must tell the truth, and it is not treason. This is the justice season. The newspaper headline saying Little Africa on fire. 35 blocks burned to the ground. The mob was determined that no one be left around. Not a grown man nor a baby clown. This is the way that it really went down. A full, all-out massacre on Greenwood town. The mob went from house to house and business to business, setting fire to everything as Little Africa went up in smoke. This war against Little Africa was no joke. The mob was even able to hide behind a legal cloak. Tulsa police officers deputized mob members and told them to get a gun and get a nigger. More love has been shown to dogs and cats and a horse called Trigger. Survivors hiding under beds of their houses heard mob members say that no nigger should live better than us. Keep killing them, I won't be no fuss. And burn that nice furniture into dust. They even brought in at least 6 biplanes and firebombed Little Africa from the air. They firebombed the new Mount Zion Baptist Church. They did not care. And they stocked the decks so that the race massacre would not be fair. They even pulled guns on the fire department and would not let them put out fires in Little Africa that day. They did everything that they could to make Little Africa go away. Them niggas trying to do for self and spending money with each other. We better stop them now, cause they ain't our brother. The brave citizens of Little Africa put up a heroic fight, even though being outnumbered 10 to 1. They were not going to give up and allow the mob to have their crazy fun. They made their last stand on Standpipe Hill and were doing pretty good to stop some of their blood spill. Then something happened that will make your blood chill. The massacre on Standpipe Hill. The National Guard started shooting 2 machine guns at the heroes, killing many to destroy their will. Kill, kill, kill was the order of the day. And even begging for their lives and praying could not make it go away. The mob was determined to have the last say. Make Little Africa go away. Oh, say, can you see that America is the land of liberty, and that all of us have the right to be free? No one deserves to be hung from a tree. Everyone that you have ever hung is me. Hell no, you don't want that history in school books or on TV. The survivors of the massacre were forced at gunpoint to hold up their arms and march to the fairgrounds, Convention Hall, and McNulty Baseball Park. This was so humiliating, you would think that they would have let them march after it got dark. The physical massacre finally stopped, and the survivors were let free to go home. Nothing left but ashes, bricks, and human bones, even though most of them had to still repay their loans. They even had to fight all of the insurance companies who refused to pay just one claim. The survivors were treated like they had the wrong name. Shame, shame, shame. Black Wall Street burned completely to the ground. And many of its good citizens will never be able to come back around. In the ground, in the ground. The massacre of Black Wall Street continues to this day. It's just being done in a different way. Government is having too much say. Then we hear good news about how Greenwood will be restored through a new program called urban renewal. Just wait and see. We're done waited and waited. It seems like a big lie to me. Urban removal would be better to describe what really went down. It was government-sanctioned removal of what was left of Greenwood town. Where are the 600 black-owned businesses that were up and down Greenwood for a whole mile? Somebody needs to be put on public trial. No one was ever arrested or charged with the race massacre on Greenwood in 21. Now we move up to modern times in the continued quest for justice for those that were blessed to survive. History proves that they never got justice, but continued jive. Like stings from an organized beehive, with only a few of the original survivors still alive. Let the record show the legal efforts of attorneys Johnny Cochran and Charles Ogletree to move justice from stop to go. They took it to federal district and appellate court, hoping to get justice for the survivors' nation. The federal district and appellate court dismissed the suit, stating the statute of limitation. Unheard of. Statute of limitation when it comes to murder? All the world knows that this is a bad deal. Then guess what? The Supreme Court refused to hear the appeal. Around the same time, the government changed the zip code of Greenwood and made it part of downtown. I wonder how it would have went down if survivors of the massacre had been around. Yes, new little Africa town. What happens to dreams deferred? Do they die and dry up like raisins in the sun? You done killed Greenwood's home run. Standpipe Hill must always stand. All of the blood spill makes it sacred land, sacred land. It should not fly away like Peter Pan. I wish that I could shake every survivor's hand and say, how do you do? We promise that we will not let the world forget what you went through. Hallelujah, hallelujah. I will tell my children too. How could you? I know that we must teach, and real humans we will reach. We promise that we will not cease. I know that there is one more major issue that we must find a way to tell. That's about the settlements that are creating so much internal hell. Settlements called OSU and One Oak Baseball Park built on sacred ground. Too big a price to pay for so few survivors left around. No one should ever have to ask, where is Standpipe Hill? In other words, stop building on sacred land, chill. Help Black Wall Street to rise from the ashes again. It's time for blacks and whites to be each other's friend. We will never ever have a race massacre again. All men are my brothers and my kin. Loving each other is how we all win. I will look at a bigot and see my friend. We will never ever have a race massacre again. My name is Brother Arthur. I am your brother. Call me and tell me what we can do to save America and the world. I love America. And if America is destroyed, my family and I are destroyed with it. My phone number is 850-6096. At the time of this recording, only 43 survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre were still alive. Mr. George D. Monroe, one of the survivors, said, "I want people to know. I want my children to know that their daddy went through something." There's much more to know about the worst race massacre in American history. There is a documentary about it entitled "Before They Die." It will make you cry. Almighty Creator of us all, please do not let any of us fall. Help us to pick up each other when we do. We don't want humanity to be through. I will make a friend of someone who does not look like me. That's how we all will save humanity.